All right, now the Mueller investigation, in fact, lasted for almost about 2 years. A whole lot of things have transpired in the period after Trump won the presidential elections in 2016 until now. Let's take a look at the timeline of all the big developments and the indictments throughout the investigation that has dominated the political discourse in the United States. Now, in the month of May in 2017, U.S. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein appointed former FBI Director Robert Mueller as a special counsel to investigate if the Trump campaign team had colluded with Russia during the elections. In the month of June in the same year, Robert Mueller launched this investigation into Trump for possible obstruction of justice. This is the charge that's been leveled against the president. Was there a possible obstruction of justice? This was being probed. In October, veteran Republican political consultant and also former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort was indicted on charges of conspiracy against the United States and also money laundering. In the month of December the same year, Trump's national security advisor Michael Flynn, who also had a prominent campaign role, pleaded guilty of lying to the FBI with respect to his talks with the Russian ambassador to Washington. In February of 2018, the federal grand jury indicted 13 Russians and 3 firms, including a Russian government propaganda arm by the name Internet Research Agency. The propaganda arm was accused of running a cyber campaign to gather support for Trump and slur his opponent Hillary Clinton. Soon after that, Paul Manafort and also his business partner Rick Gates were charged with financial crimes and bank fraud. In April, the son-in-law of one of Russia's richest men was sentenced to a month in prison for lying to Mueller's investigators, and he becomes the first person to be sentenced in the probe. In April, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, a huge Trump supporter in the election campaign, joined his personal legal team. In November, Trump's lawyer Michael Cohen pleaded guilty of lying to the Congress about plans to build a Trump Tower in Moscow, and Trump had called Michael Cohen a liar and also an extremely weak person. A month later, Michael Cohen is sentenced to 3 years in prison for orchestrating what were described as hush payments to women in violation of the election campaign laws. This year started off with Trump's longtime advisor Roger Stone being arrested for lying to the Congress about his efforts to contact WikiLeaks regarding the hacked Democratic emails that had been stolen by the Russians. And just this month, Paul Manafort was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. And today, the report has finally been submitted as the American lawmakers are waiting with bated breath for some answers to all the pertinent questions that have cast a cloud over Donald Trump's presidency that is now into its 3rd year.